Welcome to our vlog. We're leaving now, guys. We're leaving. I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Hey everybody, it's me Mo, and today I'm going to be talking to y'all about my two-month semester abroad and what happened, my story about fleeing back to America, to New York, because of this whole coronavirus situation. So I have my calendar and I sort of remember the dates. I should have thoroughly checked my emails for the actual dates on what happened, when things happened, because I'm telling you, like January, February, March, the mentality throughout those months changed so drastically. So for those who don't know, I was studying abroad at the London campus that my university has. So my school has so many different campuses around the world. They have the one in Shanghai, which was closed down right away in January. Second, what happened was with Italy. That campus closed down, and that campus closed down, I believe, in February. Yeah, middle March, that's when all of the campuses shut down. I'm surprised that the ones in Sydney, Australia closed down, the one in Accra, Ghana, the one also in Buenos Aires, Argentina, I believe. All those campuses shut down, everybody came back home. And so we all picked the wrong semester to study abroad. Okay, so January, like I said, Shanghai closed. And I remember during orientations, they were telling us,
you feel sick, chances are you have a cold or you have the flu, you probably don't have corona.
That's what they were telling us in the beginning. This was January, late January. I flew in, let me look at my calendar, give you all the exact dates. My flight was January 28th, and I arrived in the UK the 29th, and that week, that short few days, we had orientation and all that stuff, and that's what they were telling us. They were basically telling us not to worry. So I would say that February went very smoothly. And what happened? I was visiting different places around the UK as normal. I went to Bath, I went to Cotswolds in the countryside, I went to so many different places, and then I went to Paris, France. I left for France February 20th, and I spent that weekend there, and I came back Monday morning the 24th, and we all came back, we were fine, and no one was worrying at that point. No one was really worrying in February. Things were just going as planned, and I was still planning more trips because I thought that things would be fine. I don't think anybody saw this coming and things getting worse. Fast forward now to the first week of March. I'm pretty sure this is when school starts sending emails. I would say it was the first week in March. That's when professors started to tell us that they were going to start recording lectures for students who were returning back to their home countries. So this is when, I think, because another campus sites was closing, my school gave students in the London site options to leave. So that's when all the professors started learning how to use Zoom. The students were learning how to use Zoom. Fast forward to Monday, March 9th. That was my last full day of classes, going to the academic center for class, being around people, no social distancing. That was my last day of that. So Wednesday, March 11th, that was my first day of remote classes, but I was still in the UK. I was still allowed to be there. They did give us the option to return, but at that point, the majority of the students stayed. I would say that's the week where everything changed. Literally the second week of March, I'm looking at my calendar, second week of March, that's when everything changed, rapid. Things were changing left and right like crazy. That was when I remember I received an email saying that if you wanted to be refunded for your housing, you must leave by March 20th, Friday, March 20th. So I remember that was when me and my friends, we booked our flights to leave that day. And me and my friends, we were under the impression that we wanted to stay as long as we possibly could in the UK. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest, I felt safer in the UK than I do here because the cases in New York State are crazy. They just keep going up and up each day, and things are bad everywhere, but over there, I would say things were less bad than here, but I'm no longer there, so I don't know anymore. So I remember I was unable to move up my flight date because I had bought a round-trip ticket. I tell you, for a student visa, it's best to purchase a round-trip ticket as documentation of when you'll be entering and leaving the UK. So I remember I couldn't get through the airline myself, and also because I was making an international call, I get charged for international calls. So I ended up telling my sister to back at home to call the airline to move my flight up, and she wasn't able to do that, and so I ended up having to repurchase another ticket, which was a big dent in my bank account. Okay, when I tell you guys everything changed within that weekend, everything changed rapid fire. And I think the reason why is because that weekend, the weekend of the 13th, 14th, that was when the president issued the travel ban on people coming into the US from European countries, but not the UK. And so I think people freaked out about that. And after that, people were booking flights to get out that weekend. And I think that's pretty much when like everybody left. Now, I believe Sunday, March 15th, that was when airlines started canceling flights, and that's when the school and students were also like, we strongly urge you to return back to your home countries. I remember like I just had a very bad feeling in my gut and also in my heart about leaving Friday. Like, they tell you to leave March 20th and you choose the last day to leave. I felt like we should have left Wednesday, but we didn't even make it to Wednesday because what happened was my school was like, we really think you guys are going to be stuck in the UK, so we mass booked everybody's ticket. You have the option of getting on a bus tomorrow morning. They sent the email Monday. Tomorrow morning, as in Tuesday, March 17th, that's when you'll be leaving. Meet us here, 7:30 sharp. We will take you all on buses to Heathrow, and you will be on a flight back to your home country. And that's what ended up happening. I was like, I guess we're not even gonna make it to Wednesday. We should strongly get on this flight. And me and my friends, we did. We're all traveling together, and we were traveling back to New York. And I want to tell y'all, that flight was so packed. Like, my friends coming from Sydney, their flights were empty. Like, they had rows and rows to themselves, but me, like, I was still next to people, and they're also checking people, making sure that everyone was okay. So how did I feel through all of this? I felt really stressed because every 2 seconds I was getting a new email from the school telling us that you should leave, you should do this, travel ban, canceling flights, just so many emails just piling up and piling up. Also, on top of that, I had exams as well. I remember I had an exam that Wednesday, so that's why I remember I kept telling myself I can't leave before Wednesday because I have to like be here to take my test. The test ended up getting moved and everything, and I'm glad that I left with the university when we did. There was like, I would say like 24 of us who were still leaving, and I honestly didn't think that things would get this bad, but I would say the moment where I knew where things were really bad was when my school moved remotely, and also when they sent us that first email saying if you want a refund for your housing, you must leave before the 20th. Now, even though I only spent like 2 months in the UK, I am really grateful for the experience, and it has taught me that everything happens for a reason. Who knows, all this, I'm trying to find the light in this. I also learned not to put things off to the last minute too. Like, I'm glad that I had the opportunity to visit another country. Even though I have been to Paris before, I do love France and French culture, and I was happy to go again, and I'm grateful for that experience. I remember at first I was really upset because I'm like, we must go to France in the spring because I have to see the Gardens of Versailles live, not dead Gardens of Versailles in the winter. But if we had waited for the spring, like, we wouldn't have been able to go anywhere, and so we wouldn't have been able to do any trips and stuff. So I'm grateful for having the opportunity to spend 2 months in another country, for being able to visit Paris, even though it was a really hectic trip. I should do a story time about us being homeless in Paris, but if y'all want to see that, let me know. I tried so many restaurants. I tried Nando's. Amazing. If y'all want to just see a recap of my adventures, check out my social media. My Instagram is poppin'. I had the little like memory highlight things. So I'm gonna be uploading the vlogs that I do have, starting from the beginning up until the very end, when I was vlogging my last few days in the UK. So stay tuned for that. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay safe out there. Stay at home. wash your hands, keep 6 feet away from other people, and take care of yourselves. Boost your immune system. Lemon, believe strongly in lemon. That's the Caribbean in me. Lemon, turmeric, ginger, clove, all that. So that was it for the video. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Check out my other ones. Check out my souvenir haul, my Primark haul, and check out my video that I made in January about studying abroad. Just check out everything. Let me know what you think. Keep clicking back to my channel. Thanks for watching. Bye!